get started in the chair, sitting with your feet flat on the floor, nice and tall, resting your hands into your lap. Let your shoulders settle a little. If you need to turn off any distraction around you, please take a moment to do that, allowing yourself this time to really focus on your practice. Once you have yourself settled into your seat, take a nice deep breath in through your nose, as big and as full as you can. And then let it go out the mouth. And let's do that again. Inhale through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. One more time like that. Inhale and exhale. And closing the mouth and starting to breathe gently, naturally through your nose as best you can. Now, of course, if you do have any congestion, you're welcome to breathe through your mouth as you need. But when and if possible, try to breathe in and out through your nose. Taking a moment to notice and scan the body, to notice any tension, gripping, or holding, to notice any areas of discomfort, but also to take a moment and purposefully seek out some areas within the body that feel okay, that might even feel good. And then take a moment and look around your room. So consciously take a gaze around the space that you're in and name 5 different objects, maybe out loud, maybe within your own mind, that you can see with your own eyes. So everybody's going to see something different, but name 5 things that you can see. So, like, I'm seeing a plant and a TV and a computer, couch. Name 5 things for yourself that you can see. And now tuning into your sense of hearing, however it is, even if it doesn't feel like you have the best hearing, that's okay. Name name maybe 4 things that you can hear. One of them might be your own breath. Another one might be my voice and my breathing. And take a moment here and name as many things as you can that you can hear. And now tuning into that sense of touch, so your skin, notice 3 things that you can feel or touch with your hands. So, you could actually put your hands on your legs and you might feel your legs or the pants that you're wearing, but also see if you notice the texture of the clothing against the skin of your arms or your back. If you have socks on, maybe you can sense and feel the texture of the socks. Maybe you can register the temperature of the air in the room against your skin. And see now if you can actually consciously name, give it a name, 3 things that you can feel with your skin. And now name 2 things that you can smell with your nose. What are 2 different scents that you can pick up? Good. And then what about your taste, your sense of taste? Can you register one flavor in your mouth? Maybe it's your coffee from this morning or your breakfast or your toothpaste. Just take a moment and see what you can pick up as a sense of taste here. What do you taste in your mouth? And then start to move your tongue around a little bit and generate some more saliva in your mouth. That might help register a flavor or 2. Once you have a buildup of saliva in your mouth, go ahead and gently swallow and follow that sensation of swallow all the way down. Follow that sense of descending, settling down. Go so far down now that you can feel your belly. Maybe you can start to feel your hips. Maybe you can start to feel your feet. With your hands resting on your thighs, maybe you can start to feel the hands on the thighs or the thighs against the skin of the palms. And gently start to encourage a belly breath here, a deeper bodied breath. Not forcing the breath here, not trying to strain to breathe in any particular way, but just a gentle encouragement. And we're going to work a little bit with the breath now. So we're going to take the breath in for a few counts. We're going to hold the breath for a few counts, and then we're going to exhale that breath for a set count. We're going to start here with the count of 3, inhaling as fully as you can through 3 counts. Then you're going to hold your breath for about 4 counts, 4 or 5 counts. I'll keep count. And then you're going to exhale for 6 counts. Okay, we're going to do that a couple times. Then we're going to up it to 4, 7, and 8. Okay, but I'll keep count here. So starting first with an empty breath out. So emptying that breath all the way out. And now inhaling through your nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, holding it 3 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Emptying out now for 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep emptying 5. Right at 6, empty out. And again, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, pausing full for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Emptying out for 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep emptying out 5, 6. Good. Let's go to 4 now. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pausing full for 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's hold it a little longer. 5, maybe 6 here. Now we're going to empty for 8. Emptying for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Empty out at 8. And again, inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Pausing full. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Emptying out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right at 8. Empty out. Let's do one last round here. You've got it. Inhaling 1, 2, 3. Fill up at 4. Hold full for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Emptying out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now release your breath. Let it go. Let a natural breath take hold. Again, breathing through the nose as best you can. Softening the belly and letting that breath descend as deeply into your belly as you comfortably can without forcing. With the hands facing down onto your thighs, your next inhale will start to float those arms up, lifting them just as high as is comfortable. Then as you exhale, let them float back down. There's no rush or destination here. Inhaling, taking the arms up. Exhaling, letting the arms come down. So moving with that breath. Beautiful. Keep finding that rhythm, that fluidity here. Letting the hands be soft. Letting the elbows bend if you like. Almost like you're moving your hands through kind of very thick liquid. Good. A few more times. Well, next inhale, let the arms lift just about level with the shoulders. Exhaling, bringing the hands together to touch. Inhale, widening the arms out to the sides. And exhaling, bringing them now into touch. Remember, there's no rush, there's no urgency. We're settling into a graceful, fluid motion, one that feels like it could go on forever. Exhaling to bring the hands together and inhaling, opening up. Just helping release our mind from the constrictions or restrictions of time. Just feeling that flow, opening and closing, and opening and closing. One more time like that, opening and closing. Very nice. With the palms touching, start to gently rub your palms together, warming up the hands. You might even blow on them a little bit to encourage some warmth as you rub those palms together. Good. Taking those warm palms now, gently, gently cup them over your eyes, letting the eyes remain closed, feeling the warmth of the hands soothing the eyes. Noticing the darkness there now in front of and behind the eyes. Settling into a calmer space of ease. Just starting to see if you can let go of a few of the tensions that might be sitting within the mind or body. Knowing they're there, if you want to pick them up later, you can, but taking a moment, giving your nervous system a moment of reprieve. Then taking those warm palms and gently pressing them out over the face, just soothing the face. You might put your hands over your ears for a moment, blocking off the ears again, causing a little nice calming sensation. Taking the hands to the front of the throat, giving a gentle rub with the hands down the front of the throat. And then taking your right hand to your left shoulder, gently draw down the left arm with your right hand like you're dusting it off. Doing a few strokes at the top of the arm and then a few underneath the arm. Kind of like you're letting go. You're just dusting off all that weight and heaviness, releasing it, letting it go. Then you can take your left hand to your right shoulder and do the same there. Dust down your right arm. Let it go. Just dusting down that right arm with your left hand, washing it off underneath the arm. We're giving our systems, all the various systems, a permission right now during the time of our practice to rest, to heal. We can pick up all the different events of our days, all our thoughts or ideas afterwards, but we'll do so with a system that is balanced and healthy and ready to take on the day. Beautiful. Hands can come back down onto the thighs. Now doing a little warming of the thighs here, rubbing up and down from the hips to the knees, and do so with a sense of kindness and gentleness to the body, a feeling of gratitude towards your body and all that it can do for you, even when it's not necessarily doing what we want. The body truly is trying its best for us. Let's take the hands over top of the knees. I'm giving the knees a little bit of a rub. Warming up the knees. If it's available to you, you might come down towards your calves and shins, or you might stay up here working around the thighs and knees. That's okay. Just warming up the legs a little bit. Bringing the hands now around, maybe onto the hips, doing a little bit of rubbing there at the sides of the hips. Again, connecting with the body from a place of kindness, gentleness, love, and compassion. Bringing maybe the hands around to your low back if that's available. If not, stay working on those hips. That's plenty. Good. If it's comfortable for you, you can bring your hands around to the belly and do a gentle, gentle rub of the belly, soothing the belly. See if you can soften your belly a little. Good. Bringing the hands up onto the chest now and doing a little bit of gentle rubbing on the chest. Rubbing on the chest, just warming it up, especially over the collarbone. So a little bit of rubbing over the left collarbone with your right hand helps to stimulate the lymph nodes in that area, helps to clean the body out. Good, balance things. Let's take the left hand over the right collarbone. Do again a gentle rub there. Good. And then keep your left hand over there, maybe rested on your right shoulder. Wrap your right arm over top like you're giving yourself a hug. And really do give yourself a little squeeze and then maybe a gentle rock, a sense of caring and support for yourself. Beautiful. Then you can release your hands back onto your thighs, finding again that rhythm of breathing. So just see how it feels now to breathe. It's a little bit gentler, a little easier. On your next exhale, let your chin drop down. We'll move through some cat-cow, rounding the spine, getting some motion through the spine. Inhaling, lifting the chest up and looking up. Exhaling, curling down and in. Inhaling, coming forward, lifting the chin, looking up. Exhaling, curling down and in. Good. Inhaling, lifting the chin, looking up. Beautiful. Exhaling, curling in. Finding, just like when you were moving your arms with your breath, same sort of idea here. We're moving the spine in sync with the breath. So there is this sense of gracefulness. You might laugh, that's okay. You're working towards a feeling of gracefulness. It doesn't have to come right away. We're going back and forth, freeing up the spine, massaging the organs. Next time you come forward with your spine, shift your rib cage to your right, round back in through center and go towards your left. Coming forward with the spine towards your right, rounding in through center towards your left. Forward and right, backing and left. Good. A few more circles like this. Now let's go the other way. Round and move in the opposite direction. Same sort of oscillation of the spine, but also this side to side motion all coming together for a kind of churning action here, helping to tone support the belly, but also free up the back, open up the lungs. All right. A few more circles like this. You've got it. Very nice. Coming back into center now. Oh, yeah, you might feel the urge to yawn or take a big sigh. That's beautiful release there. Yawning, sighing, great way to let go of some unnecessary tension. With the hands on the thighs now, on your next breath out, so whatever's naturally an exhale for you, you're going to slide the hands forward and start to fold down the legs. Now be mindful of blood pressure. Keep your head above your heart, but a little compression on the belly is good here. Taking the hands now, inhaling and gliding them back up the legs as you sit up again. Good. Exhaling, folding forward. Beautiful. Inhaling, coming up. And exhaling, coming forward. And inhaling, coming up. Good. And exhaling. And inhaling. Nice. A few more times. Exhaling and inhaling. One more time. Exhaling and inhaling. Very nice. As you come up nice and tall, take the arms now out to the sides. Maybe they come up overhead. Maybe they stay more forward in front of you, wherever it feels kind of okay for your shoulders to rest. And we're going to sit a little bit taller now, taking the gaze upwards, reaching the arms up, or maybe again, more out in front. That's okay. But try turning your gaze up, look up, and we're going to lift the energy up in the body. So nice, big, full breaths here. Beautiful. Now you might turn your palms forward and take a hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Good. And then slowly curl the spine towards your left, taking a nice stretch down that right side of the body. So you're curving over to your left. Still attentive to the breath here, not holding the breath at all. Good. And only going to a place where you can still sustain that breath. Okay, we're gonna take that right shoulder now, gently turn it down as though it was turning towards your left knee, and take your left shoulder a little bit up behind you. So you're rotating your upper body slightly, so you're looking more down towards your left. And we're moving that stretch into the back of the body. Holding here and breathing, but still finding some softness. Nice, then slowly rotate to face forward again and come back up into center. No rush here, take your time. Switching your grip, take a hold of the left wrist with the right right hand, sorry. Arms might be straight, they might not. It's okay, they don't need to be straight, but we'll start to curve the spine to the right, just as far as is comfortable, and breathing there. All about your breath. How full of a breath can you feel without straining? We're not pushing or straining here. That left shoulder now is going to roll down a little bit. The right shoulder is going to come up behind you as you gently twist your spine to look down to the right. Good. Reaching through those arms. Nice stretch in the back. Beautiful. Slowly turning to face forward, then coming back up into center. Release the grip of the hands and take the left hand now down and across to the right thigh. That right arm might splay out behind you over the back of the chair, or holding onto the side of the chair, or onto your right hip if that feels better. Very gentle twist here, not pushing or pulling anything, but just a gentle rotation of the spine, looking over towards the right. Finding that ease of breath. Good. Inhale the arms back up overhead. Sweep them up into center. Take the right hand down to the left thigh, left hand around behind you. Slowly twist to look towards your left. Find that perpetual, easeful breath. Stay present here. Try not to be distracted. Distractions are pulling us away from what is true, what is real right here, right now. Let's take those arms back up. Inhale, reach up. Again, look up. Send the gaze and energy up. Releasing the arms down to the knees now. Walk your feet wide apart, as wide as you can comfortably bring them, turning the toes out from the heels. Good. Again, sitting tall here. So we want a little bit of lift of the spine, but also to guard against the gripping that we can do. So we want to sort of lift, but from a floating light place, not from an intensity of pushing. Good. Then from there, we're going to take the left elbow onto the left thigh. So you kind of hang out. It's almost like you're about to lean in and tell somebody a secret, right? You're leaning to the left a little. As you lean to the left, though, watch that right hip. Keep it down onto the chair. Your right arm now can come up maybe overhead. Maybe you take it more out in front if that feels better. And then for a final little stretch, you might reach that right arm over to the left. Getting a little fuller, deeper stretch down that right side. Holding the body, but breathing here. Good. Inhale, rise back up in through center. Take a moment and pause. And then right elbow on right thigh. So again, we're leaning in here, placing the weight on that right elbow. Left arm might come up overhead. Left hip, though, is heavy and rooted. Then you might extend that left arm, extending it over your head towards the right. Maybe you're like, you know what? I prefer to have my right hand on my hip. That gives me enough sensation. That's plenty. Stay there. Breathe there. Nice. Let's come back up into center and then release the arms down. I want to do a little bit more breath work here before we have the option to come to stand. So placing one hand here kind of on your upper abdomen. So if you find sort of where your rib cage is, the base of your rib cage, just kind of the center below that. And then maybe, if it's available, your other hand can wrap around behind you, like it's on your back, but right behind the hand that's on your front. Sometimes, though, that wrapping's not available for the shoulder, and that's fine. You just place both hands on your abdomen. That's okay. Start to find your breath here in the torso. So you're feeling movement through the breath here right at the abdomen. And then I want us to guide a bit more breath into the hand there that's on the back, where you could imagine you have your hand there right at your back. So it's the base of your rib cage. And you're going to breathe really deeply, lovely deep breaths into there, that mid-back space. Lovely deep breaths. Nice. Now see if you can maintain that breathing there in the back as you release your hands. If you notice when you release your hands, you kind of drop that breath, maybe bring them back again for a few moments. Good. Do you notice how just some of those few deliberate breaths there in the back creates a bit of a calming sensation? That's what we're looking for. All right. See if you can maintain that now as you come forward, placing your elbows on your thighs. Really nice. Now, staying here like this is a great option, especially if you do have any concerns for your back, or even if you're feeling a little kind of extra tense today, let yourself have a bit of extra support. Otherwise, you might try lifting your right arm out in front, maybe about in line with your right ear. And then you might take your left arm up to meet it. This is an option. It's not necessary. You're welcome to keep your elbows on your thighs. Wherever you are, start to press strongly into the feet and find that breath in the back of your body. Now, if you have any concerns for your knees, hips, and low back, you're going to stay here like this, breathing deep. If the knees, hips, and low back are feeling okay, you can slowly start to shift your weight forward off the chair, coming into kind of a low, wide-legged lunge or a squat here. Good. And then let's all press into those feet and straighten up. Good. Reach up. Look up again. Send that energy upwards. Big, full breaths here. Good. Big, full breaths. Lovely. Release the arms down to your sides. And if you're standing, turn your toes forward slightly. If you're sitting, place your hands on your knees, keeping your legs wide. If you're standing, your hands come on your hips. And we're going to start to circle here. So for those who are standing, you can move from the hips, circling around. If you're sitting, you're going to guide the whole upper body in big sweeping circles over top of the hips. Yep. Really nice. And again, you're making this circle just as big as is comfortable, available, and safe for your body. Some days the circles are little, some days the circles are bigger. And we learn to ride those waves, keeping a steady state of calm throughout. Good. Let's try going the other way. Circle the other direction. Beautiful. There's lots of energy, especially if we sit a lot, that gets sort of stuck here in the hips. So even a few good circles can be really helpful to keep that energy flowing. Bringing the hips back together, let's walk the feet in. Now coming to Tadasana, standing or sitting tall, palms open at the sides, gaze straight ahead. Take a moment and observe your breath. Beautiful. If you're sitting in the chair, I'm going to encourage you to reach around behind you and hold the sides of the back of your chair. If you're standing, I'm going to encourage you to either have your hands on your hips or place them around onto the back of your hips. So side of the hips or back of the hips. Good. From here, let's all take the shoulders up and back. So you're hugging your shoulder blades together. A little bit of containment here at the belly is good, but not so much that you're feeling again like a restriction or kind of like a tight, it almost feels like a strangling. We don't want that so much tightness, just a little support. Then lift the chest up towards the sky. Beautiful. Send your tailbone down towards the ground. And then maybe start to curve your upper back up and over, lifting the chest high to the sky, maybe just a little. Some of you might work more to stay upright. That's okay. Watch here the tendency to lift the chin and drop the head back. Tuck your chin in a little bit more and lift from your chest. Lift from your chest and back. You've got it. Very good. Couple more breaths here. On your next inhale, rise back into your centered position. Return to your Tadasana. If there's any lightheadedness or dizziness, please have a seat. Let it pass. Good. Then let's inhale those arms wide. Big breath in. Reaching the arms up. And then exhale. Let the arms just drop. Wide and up. So let them drop. 3 more. Inhale. Drop. One. Nice. All right, we're going to build on that breath. So I love this breath. It's going to come back, I promise you, in December as we use it with our Christmas themes. But we're going to do our 3-part inhale with that big dropping arm exhale. So from here, we take both arms as you inhale forward, then another inhale for the arms to go wide, then a third inhale for the arms to come up. Big exhale as the arms drop. Ha! Make a little sound when you exhale, okay? So join me as you're ready. Inhale forward, inhale wide, inhale up. Ha! Let it go. Inhale. Exhale. Ha! Inhale. 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 Ha! Yeah, keep going. Big sweeping motions. Ha! 4 more. Ha! Ha! 2 more. Last one. Good. Swing those arms now, maybe forward or back, side to side. Just let them kind of swing around. Good. Good. And then let's do a little pumping here. So if you're sitting in the chair, you're going to pump with your shoulders. Pumping with the shoulders. Good. If you're standing, you're going to pump with your knees. Little short, little bends and straightens with the knees. So if you're sitting, Think of your shoulders going up and down, up and down, up and down. Does not a big movement, very small, but up and down. And then if you're sitting, you can kind of add in your heels if you like. So there's a little kind of bouncing with the heels as well to create a full vibration. If you're standing, the vibration really does come from the pumping of the knees, letting the rest of the body be very passive, receiving that sense of vibration. This is so good to get that lymphatic system moving. So, especially this time of year in the transition of seasons as we head into colder time, the lymphatic system can get kind of clogged up and it really kind of throws lots of things out of balance. So, we get that lymphatic system moving, clearing things out, and it can truly help balance the system out. Good. Keep that vibration going. I know it's kind of tiring, but you got it. Maybe let go of some sighing breaths. Maybe make a little sound or a little sound. Or even if you're feeling a bit frustrated, you little out. Making a little sound. Let it out. A few more. Last little bit here. Good, very nice. All right, slowly come back to your Tadasana. Standing with a sense of presence, sense of purpose. Notice the sensations floating around. Beautiful. If you're standing, you can turn your chair so that the back of the chair is facing you and you're able to stand with your hand on the back of the chair. If you don't have a chair, a desk might work, or a wall, a little support to start. If you're sitting, stay seated as you are. Maintain that presence of breath. Good. From here, let's all take a look at the foot and really spread the toes. Maybe you're wearing shoes and you can't see your foot. That's okay. Imagine your toes. Spread them nice and wide as you can in your shoe if you have it. And then press that right foot down. And feel the strength come up the right leg. Then slowly lift that left heel from the floor, maybe lifting the left toes, maybe bringing that left knee forward. These are options. Anywhere along that way is enough. Do what feels appropriate for you right now. Good. That left arm might come up overhead. You might keep it on your left hip. If you're sitting in the chair, try bringing both arms again overhead, sending that energy up. If you're standing, your right hand can always stay on the chair, or you might bring it up, or you might kind of up and down it a few times. And if you're looking for a little added challenge, you might start to take that left knee out to the left a little bit. It could be a half an inch out. That's plenty. We're just kind of changing it up a little bit on the body and seeing how do we ride out that change? Do we get nervous? Do we fall over? Or can we ride it out and just feel where we're going? Good. If your right hand is lifted, place your right hand down first, then let your left arm come down, bringing that left knee forward and releasing that left foot on the floor, returning to a steady Tadasana, a steady state of presence, a steady breath. Good. Moving the chair now over to the left-hand side. Left hand on the chair or whatever support you're using. And then feel again those left toes. Spread them as wide as you can. Press them into the floor. Press that whole foot down and really tone the leg. Activate all the muscles of your left leg. Reaching your right heel maybe off the floor. Maybe the right toes come up. Maybe you lift that right knee level with the hip or somewhere along the way. Maybe your right arm comes up. Maybe your left arm comes up. Good. Maybe you keep your left arm down. That's okay too. Maybe you open that right knee out to the right. Maybe. Wherever you are, what happens if you actually let the sides of your mouth go up? Some days we're very determined to keep the sides of those mouths down. But see if you can just even try it out. Lift it up. See what happens. Good. If your left hand is lifted, place your left hand back onto that chair. Then bring your right knee forward. Release the right arm, the right leg down. Return right away to your Tadasana. Stand or sit tall. Connect in, feel, and breathe. Beautiful. If you're standing with your chair, turn the seat of the chair to face you, moving it to the top of your mat. And then you might choose to use your chair to help bring yourself down onto the floor, or coming down whatever way works for you, or maybe choosing to sit back in the chair. Any of those options, perfect. If you're in the chair, make sure your feet are flat on the floor and you're sitting up nice and tall. If you're on the floor, you're sitting maybe on a pillow or two, especially if you kind of notice when you sit on the floor, your spine kind of collapses. Lift up the hips a bit to help give the spine an opportunity to lengthen. And then have your legs out in front. If having the legs straight out is hard on your knees, you could roll up a blanket and put it under the back of your legs. That's helpful sometimes. If you're sitting in the chair, take a hold of the sides of the seat of your chair and start to pull up a little bit on the sides of the seat of the chair. If you're sitting on the floor, see if you can place your palms down beside your hips and start to press down into the ground with your palms. All of us here working to lengthen the spine. We're in seated staff pose or Dandasana. Good. Then from here, inhale and release those hands, sweep them up overhead, again, as high as you can. As you exhale now, fold out over the legs, reaching towards the toes, sliding the hands up the legs as you inhale, up past the belly and the chest, again, overhead. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, rolling up, reaching up. Exhale, folding down. Good. Rolling back and up, reaching up. Exhale, folding down. Nice. Take a few more like this. Keep going. Find again that sense of grace, that sense of fluidity. Remember the ocean. The ocean is not rushing to get anywhere. The ocean just moves as it needs to move. Sometimes there are storms. Sometimes it's peaceful and calm, but always underneath that top of the ocean where the storm is, underneath is calm. Underneath the waters are still. And that's what we're kind of mimicking here, is we have the body is in movement. Life is in flex. But in our core, underneath it all, there is this beautiful, peaceful state that is our true self, that is peaceful and calm and able to ride out the waves of life. Good, let's do two more like this. Last one like this. Beautiful. Coming up to sit tall again. If you're in the chair, I'm going to ask you to try to move as forward on the chair as you can without the chair becoming wobbly. Make sure you still feel stable. And then from here, we're all going to take arms out in front, interlace the fingers if you can. If not, just keep them straight out. And then if you have your fingers interlaced, see how it feels to point your first fingers. Point them forward. Good. From here, then we're going to inhale and lean the upper body back just as far back as you comfortably can, feeling a little engagement of the belly. Then as you exhale, keeping those arms slightly lifted, lean forward. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, coming forward. So I like to think of this like you're on the one side of a big saw, yeah, and you're sawing down a big tree, and you're going forward and back. Watching those arms, not letting them drop. Good. Few more breaths like this. Good. One more, leaning back. Then as you exhale and you come forward, sweep those arms over to the right. Inhale as you lean back through center, going to the left. Exhale as you sweep around the toes to the right. Inhale as you lean back to the left. Good. Sweeping around the toes to the right. Nice. Keep going. Beautiful. Pause and switch directions. Still exhaling forward, inhaling as you sweep back, exhaling, circling around in front, inhaling, sweeping back. Really nice. Keep that movement going. All right, one more like this. Beautiful. Coming back into center, letting your hands rest into your lap, sitting tall, pausing for a moment and feeling the sensations, that kind of churning feeling that we've created. Beautiful. If you're sitting on the floor, bend your knees now so your feet are planted onto the ground and slowly walk yourself back, maybe using your hands for support to come to lay down onto your back. If you're sitting in the chair, stay seated as you are. And now, wherever you are, place one of your hands on your low belly and bring that second hand back onto that upper abdomen space. Tuning into the feeling of the breath moving between the hands, but also imagining you had a second pair of hands now that could be at the back of your body behind these hands and breathing into that space there. So breathing about the mid back, maybe somewhere around the lower back. Lovely. Okay. For those of you on the floor, you could bring your right knee into your belly, holding behind your right thigh or shin, and extend that right leg, the left leg, sorry, out along the ground. If you're sitting in the chair, you're welcome to lift your right leg up, again, holding behind the thigh, giving the leg a little squeeze in. Or you might simply just fold down over both legs if lifting the leg feels painful for you at all. Beautiful. Okay, those on the floor, release the grip you have around your right leg. Take your left hand onto the outside of your right thigh. So you're holding your right leg with your left hand. Let your right arm extend out to the side and slowly kind of guide your left leg, your right leg, sorry, across your body to the left, just as far as you can comfortably bring it. If you're sitting in the chair, have both feet flat on the floor. Take your left hand, bring it to your right thigh, and gently reach your right arm around behind you, coming back into your seated twist. Riding the wave of the breath here, noticing the shifting sensations, but also that constant thread, that steady center that you do have, even on the days you feel you don't. Those are simply the days that we forget, but it is always there. With your next breath in, unwind yourself. If you're on the floor, plant your feet, switching sides, bringing the left leg in, interlacing hands around the thigh or the shin, then extending the right leg out. If you're sitting in the chair, you're invited to lift that left leg up, taking a hold of the thigh and hugging it in, or folding down over both legs. Those of you who are lying on the floor, release your grip of that left leg. Take your right hand, holding onto the outside of the left leg. Reach your left arm out to the left. And again, just gently, slowly guide your left leg across the body to the right. Your left hip can lift off the floor if it's okay for you. But if it's not, you're welcome to keep your left hip on the floor. Good. If you're sitting in the chair, sitting up tall, both feet on the floor, take your right hand to your left thigh, slowly twisting towards your left. Left hand comes maybe behind you or on your hip, looking to your left. Beautiful. With your next breath in, slowly, slowly bring yourself back up into center, placing that left foot on the floor. If you're on the ground, place your right foot on the floor as well. Both knees are bent. And then if you're in the chair, slide yourself to the back of the chair, making sure your feet still feel supported. We're going to come into Savasana now. So if you're lying on the floor, you might extend your legs out straight onto the ground, or you might put a bolster or pillow underneath your knees, or you might keep your knees bent, letting them fall in to support each other. Those on the floor, your arms could rest at your sides with your palms facing up. Those sitting in the chair, your hands could rest in your lap. Softly, slowly close your eyes. Settle your shoulders. Settle your hips. Let the body now rest. Savasana is this practice of deep release, of deep allowing, coming into a place of trust and faith. When we enter into this place, all our systems, all the bodily functions shift into a response of restoration, healing. Let's take a few moments to be in this space together. And then I'll bring us back when it's time to close the practice. Allowing your body to remain still, eyes soft or closed, tuning back into that fluid motion of your breath, that perpetual sense of a wave rolling in and rolling out with no impediments, nothing standing in its way, just allowing it to move. If you're lying on the floor, I'm going to encourage you now to bend your knees and take your time to roll onto one side. And then to slowly make your way up to sit. So either coming to back onto the floor or coming to sit back into your chair, whichever feels best for you. And if you're sitting in the chair, you could stay seated as you are, or you might move a little bit forward to free the spine. We're going to take the last few moments of our practice today to do just what I like to call a mindfulness moment. Once you're in your comfortable seat, if it's okay for you to close your eyes, I encourage you to do that, but only from a purpose of turning inward. So, not a purpose of kind of checking out or giving you space to ruminate, but instead to really lock into that breath and that space within yourself. If you find that when you close your eyes, you kind of drift away, it's very common. You might keep your eyes open and fixed on one point. From here, let's raise the hands one over the heart and then the other on top, resting the hands at the center of the chest, meeting the heart with a softness through the hands, becoming so quiet, so tuned in that you might feel your heartbeat there below your hands. And in this mindfulness moment, we're going to use the mantra, I am here, with the hands rested over the heart. Say to yourself 3 times now in a kind and loving way, I am here. I am here. I am here. Let's do that one more time. Again, with kindness and conviction, say to yourself now 3 times, I am here. I am here. I am here. Again, with allowing a soft smile to come onto the face. Fold the palms together now so they touch in front of the heart into Anjali Mudra. Lifting the hands so the thumbs come to center of the forehead. Say to yourself, may I think kind thoughts. Bringing the thumbs down now to the lips. Say to yourself, may I think kind words. Bringing the thumbs down now onto the center of the heart one more time. May you say to yourself, may I feel and experience kindness. Thank you all so much for continuing to come and to practice yoga together. Namaste.